Alright, Shalom. I'm the brother Siyat, coming back with another video. But before I start off, I would like to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Kakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akiyama across this world, who are spreading this knowledge in truth and in sincerity. And shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening. And may the election be upon your households. Khan shalom. So today I want to make a video concerning that basically there has been no nation upon this planet Earth that had or has it so bad as the Israelites, the real Israelites. Okay, not the people that live in that land called Israel today, but the true Israelites, which are the so-called Negroes, the so-called Latinos, and the so-called Native Americans. We are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites, alright? Now, as it says here in the book of Daniel chapter 9 verse 12, and he had confirmed his words, which he spake against us, and against our judges that judged us, by bringing upon us a great evil. For under the whole heaven had not been done as had been done upon Jerusalem. Alright, so Jerusalem was a people before it was a place. Jerusalem speaks about the Israelites. Alright, so this, like I put a note, is talking about the suffering of us Israelites. Alright, so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, so-called Native Americans. We went into slavery, captivity. It's the same thing. Okay, and till this day we are being looked down upon everywhere you go. Okay, if you have something you gotta work for, okay, you gotta work twice or three times as hard as a heathen. Okay, mainly as the so-called white people. Okay, they have like a head start in everything, man. Okay, but still in this low state that we are in, we are still blessed. Okay, we are still blessed. We still have like the best genetics. Okay, we make the best food. We have the best music. We have the best dances. Okay, we invent a lot of things. You know, we're the best in playing sports. Okay, very athletic. All these things. So on a physical form, we are still still blessed, even though we are in our weak form, so to say. Okay, so in the kingdom, of course, it's all gonna be changed. We are gonna have that immortal body as Israelites. We're not gonna die anymore. We're not gonna commit sins anymore. We're not gonna get sick anymore. Okay, that is in the kingdom. But basically, I had a conversation also with my wife today. Like we was talking about, amen. We was walking in the neighborhood, and in the neighborhood where I'm from, there's a lot of Israelites living there. Okay, a lot of Jakes, mainly dark-skinned Israelites. So we just walked in a store, and I had a thought in mind. In my mind, I was like, hey man, I'm actually glad that I see a lot of Israelites here. Okay, but I didn't say anything. And then when we went out of the store, she talked to me and she said, you know, I was thinking, like, I was very happy to see all these dark-skinned faces. And I was like, yeah, man, I was thinking the same, but I was not saying anything, because it's dope, you know, to see our people being in the same neighborhood, being together. All right. And then I spoke to her basically before we went into the store. Okay, we had a conversation in another store about the book of Deuteronomy 28, about the curses, that we have like some type of evil eye toward each other when we see each other. Like when a so-called black person, when a so-called dark-skinned person greets another dark-skinned person, or when we cross paths, when we look at each other, we always have this angry look, you know, like what you're looking at. Okay, you might be driving in a car, you look over your shoulder into another car, you see a dark-skinned person, maybe with a hat on, hoodie on, whatever, looking all violent at you. But when the same people look at so-called white people or at heathens, they always, you know, they often have a certain smile, or they just nod their head like nothing happened. or they don't make eye contact at all. Okay, like sometimes Edomites don't even make eye contact with you. You know, they just walk. But when you see Jake, I don't know, man, something, and I've often I have the same thing too. Something just attracts you to look at them, to seek eye contact, like what's going on, you know. But it's part of the curses, man, that we have an evil eye towards each other. If I'm correct, it's written in here in the book of Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. Let me see. Yeah, 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother. So we are looking with the evil countenance, with the evil face towards one another. That's what you see. And you know it's true, man. When you look at our community, you know it's true. Okay? It says, his eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom. Okay, also with the wives. All right? And toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Okay? So that he will not give to any of them of the flesh of his children whom he shall eat, because he had nothing left him in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee in all thy gates. The tender and delicate woman among you, which would not adventure to set sole of her foot upon the ground for delicateness and tenderness. Back in the days, you know, a woman were like this, you know, like they had this form that they would not even, you know, basically want to put their foot on the ground which was dirty. Okay, so from that mind state, okay, it turned into this: her eye shall be evil toward the husband of her bosom. Okay, always looking mean at us, mean mugging, you know, making that sound. Okay, rolling their eyes. Okay, basically angry at the husband all the time. I don't need no nigga, this, that, and the third. Okay. And toward her son, and toward her daughter, also towards her children. You see? And toward her young one that cometh out from between her feet, and toward her children which she shall bear. For she shall eat them for want of all things secretly in the siege and straitness, wherewith thine enemy shall distress thee in thy gates. Now, if I'm correct, this is speaking about a specific time of a siege, which is like a takeover of the city, and that the people basically would eat their own children. And if I'm correct, also another scripture speaks about this, that people that go to the mountains, think that they are safe there and whatnot, are also going to eat each other, man. Okay? So basically, in a time of trouble, if I'm saying it correct, you know, these people are going to eat their own children. Mothers going to eat their own children. Okay? But the point of this verse was that we have like an evil eye towards each other, man. Okay? Which can be very, very annoying, man. Be like, hey, man, you don't even want to make eye contact with your own people anymore, because they might start some shit, you know. They might all of a sudden want to stab you or want to shoot you or whatnot, want to make an argument with you just for looking at them. You know, it's crazy, man. But yeah, man, that is what happened to us, because we did not obey our power, Yahweh Basham Yahushai. Okay, we did not listen to him. All right. But at the end, man, the Most High is now, let me say like this, the Most High is now lifting up these curses from off us and putting these curses upon our enemies. Okay. Now, instead of only our daughters acting like hoes, now also the heathens their wives and their daughters are acting like hoes, and their households are breaking up. You know, with this whole feminism thing, for example. You know, the woman against the man, thinking that she's above the man and whatnot. Okay? So, the Most High is also slowly lifting up these curses. Alright? And in the same chapter, Deuteronomy 28, from verse 1 until verse 15, it speaks about the blessings that we would get. if we would listen to the Most High. Okay? Verse 1, and it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently, so if you listen unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, the Lord thy power, because the word God means power, will set thee on high, above all nations of the earth. So if we listen, we are above everybody. And if you keep our best to follow Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai, his commandments. Okay, all these blessings come upon us. So if we read verse 15, but it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. So from verse 15 all the way to 68, where in verse 68 it speaks about slavery. We went into slavery, okay? All these curses coming upon you, man. But now, like I said, these curses are coming upon our enemies. Deuteronomy 30:7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies, and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee, which are the heathens, okay, the other nations. They all had us in some form of submission or captivity. So they all gonna get a judgment for it. Okay, so I hope this edifying. I might made a small mistake concerning the explanation of the verse where it says in verse 54 where it says, and toward the wife of his bosom. I have to double check that one. But the point is that we have like an evil eye towards each other. You know, like we don't want to see each other win. That type of look. Like we want to fight each other all the time, man. Okay? So, with that, I hope this edifying. I want to give all praises and the highest honor to the Most High Yahweh, Bahasham Yahushai, Bahasham Kakodash. I want to give double honor to my elder apostles and teachers of Great Millstone, and peace and salutation to the sincere Akiyam across this world, who are spreading this knowledge and truth and sincerity, and shalom to the few sincere brothers and sisters out there who are also listening, and may the election be upon your households. Khan shalom.